So that corner's done, and this all started to gain access to it by taking the bed of the truck off, and then I find out they didn't even finish the paint job. So yeah, it was sprayed on pretty badly just to get it sold, I'm sure, and I'm the poor sucker that gets to make up for it. Alright, passenger side, front portion of the rear fender, and all you have to do is pop those bubbles to find out, yeah, there's going to be rust issues eventually. I mean, it's already showing through. And what they did to repair it was put fiberglass on the backside. The problem with that is it starts to release, and this top edge here opens up and you get water in there, and then it just holds moisture. So we've got to rip that out and do this patch. And that's where I thought I'd bring you along, show you how a do-it-yourself guy does his own patch panel work. Alright, it's just a matter of digging into it, see what we got. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. I'd say we have some rust. So it starts right in here all the way to the other end here. Now that we've identified how much material we need to take away, of course the next step is to make sure you have something to replace it with. And this is what was left over of the corner cab. I do want to take advantage of this bend here because it will help us get that fixed. With that said, I think I'll make a patch taking advantage of the good metal up all the way to that end there. I scribed a line here. Well, I didn't scribe a line. I made a line with a marker here. Give me something to go on when I cut this out. And we're going to do that next. Safety shield and hearing protection on. If you have headphones, turn down your volume. The next step I did was just to continue grinding. I wanted to get the body panel off. This guide here, the bracket, I guess, it's going to give us not only a guide to put the new panel on, and I'll straighten this out, but it also will give us a place to attach the new panel in place while we stitch weld the top. So all I did here was put this in the vise, and if you remember, there used to be like an L shape here, but we're going to make that flat. Take advantage of the nice crisp factory bend. Need to start making a curve on this outside edge here, and since I don't have a stretcher or shrinking machine, the only way I know to do it is cut these reliefs here, and I've staggered them one up, one down. I'll show you how we take care of this problem next. Okay, so using a body dolly, it's got this edge on it. I'll just start using the hammer and dolly technique to get this edge going. Just real slow, a little bit at a time. Here's what I was saying about leaving that bottom brace in there. We can clamp this in place now, and that gives us the ability to work on this side. And here's the reason we needed that to start curving that metal, is to follow the body around. Unfortunately, I don't have one piece long enough, so we got to make this up right here with the remainder of that. But it's okay. We're welding anyway, so just another chance to improve our skills, right? Now that we have the final fitment in place, we are going to tack it up just to hold it in place, and then we'll continue with this patch here. Okay, we got the gap started that we want, and we'll just continue on. This will be pushed up on this side. Bring this up a little closer. This metal here, just too thin. too thin to weld. I was afraid of that because we did have those 2 spots that I didn't patch. We were going to try to just weld it, but too thin. So what I'll have to do is make another patch. Unfortunately, more work. The next issue we have, and I'm going to swing you around, is this is part of the problem with welding. The panels do tend to, so once that focuses, you can see we got quite a low spot, especially right in here. So what I'm going to do next is back to dolly, back to hammer and dolly work. It's not bad back there, but we get out here and that's too much. All right, now you can see we have a much better fit, less body filler the better. I don't like that center being high because that's where your body filler needs to cover the weld, so I'll keep working it, but back in here we're looking pretty good. Slightly low in the center, that's what we want, cover the welds. I'll continue working this, and all I'm doing, guys, is using this backing, what do you call these things, dolly I guess, and then the hammer. But pay attention to what face you're using. This has somewhat of a directional. When I'm wanting to go in on the welds, I use this one. When I want to curve this in or out, I use this face. But anyway, I'm no expert. I just trial and error, and that's what I came up with. Yeah, I'm all cleaned up for work, ready to go. I continued working on this last night till 8 o'clock. I didn't have the camera on because it was just more spot welding and more grinding. And it's taken a long time because I'm not a professional. And the grinder, I mean, the welder is not doing good for me. And it's not the welder, it's me. I just haven't got the right combination of heat and wire speed. It is thin metal, so it's burning through quite a places, and I'm having to repair my own mistakes. So it's taken me a long time. Part of that time it's taken is on the back side here. I want this to look as good as possible as well, because even though there will be a tire in place and this will all be painted black, it will show up to a certain extent, so I want it to look decent. I have just this corner here to finish, and that's it for now. I got to go to work for the week, and I'll be back next week, and we'll continue.